What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sassy Stuff. My name is Blythe, and I am here with,
Emma.
and we're so excited to bring you another week of college football. Gearing up, it's November. It's going to be a November to remember for sure, Emma. And let's talk about this first game, Ole Miss and Arkansas this week.
So this is going to be at the Razorback Stadium. Ole Miss is favored, but not as big of a margin as you might have thought. Right now, when we're taping this, we're at a 6.5 margin. That might change a little bit, but they were once a top 10 team. The Rebels have had a roller coaster season. They really need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and they have just been looking shakier and shakier by the week. Arkansas, however, is riding a big high of a 58-25 win against Mississippi State. The Razorbacks are ready to throw another ranked opponent a curveball. They beat Tennessee. So I think anything can happen this game. Lane Kiffin is getting shakier by the day, so I think this might be a very, very interesting game.
I think it will too. And I think one of the key players to watch for Arkansas will be Taylon Green. He's shown out all season. He's passed for more than 2,000 yards while adding nearly 400 yards on the ground. He has combined for 16 touchdowns and 7 interceptions this season. I like the Hogs. I'm going to, I guess you could say, maybe a mini upset. I'm going with the Hogs.
Yeah, I'm looking at Ole Miss's players to watch. So Jackson Dart, obviously, he has shown moments of brilliance, but he has been very inconsistent. So Dart's arm is going to be crucial for Ole Miss to find their rhythm here. Trey Harris, their wide receiver, is also a big player for them. He's had some jaw-dropping catches this season. Ole Miss is really hoping that he's going to be ready to go. He's going to be ready to make these big plays. So him and Jackson Dart will certainly need to find their rhythm to come out big here. Also, their edge, Perkins, this All American freshman, he's a one-man wrecking crew with 4 sacks last week. So I don't know. I think this game could go either way. A key to victory for Ole Miss would really be looking for those big play opportunities, which they are so capable of. And Arkansas has been known to give them up. Their defense will really have to hold the line on Arkansas's run game, keep the QB Green contained. And if Ole Miss can throw Arkansas to pass, they will definitely be able to control this game. Arkansas, it's pretty simple. They just have to play mistake-free football, which I know it's simple in concept, but it's actually really, really hard to do. And their defense really just has to stop the big plays that Ole Miss is known for. However, I am also going to pick Arkansas. I have loved their trajectory this season. I think Sam Pittman has done amazing things with this team. They didn't start off great this year, but they've really picked up momentum, and I think they might come out not huge, maybe like a 26-18. But I think Ole Miss is looking better on paper than
I think so
they
too.
actually play.
Yes. I think, with Arkansas's elite rushing unit, they are the top 10 in the country in success rate on the ground. So I like the Hogs in this one, but I do think it's going to be close. But let's fast forward to Florida at Georgia. I think on paper, obviously, Georgia is going to be the choice. So, for me, I definitely think Georgia will come out on top. I also don't think it's going to be a game that's, you know, a big lead by any means. I think it will probably be a closer matchup than most would think. I think for Florida, DJ Lagway, he hasn't been afraid to push the ball down the field all year and take chances. He has passed for 1,224 yards on only 86 pass attempts with 5 touchdowns. He also led the Gators to a home win against Kentucky prior to its bye week. So maybe he's kind of getting his groove. But meanwhile, you're going to look for Georgia's offense to continue to push down the field with Beck at quarterback.
Well, Georgia right now, they're riding a 3-game winning streak, including a big win over the previous number 1 Texas. Senior Carson Beck, he's really shown confidence and consistency. He didn't look great in that Alabama game at first, or really in the Kentucky game. But since then, he's really found his stride in this team. And this is a Kirby Smart defense. They are tough as nails. They held Texas to just 259 yards. They racked 7 sacks, 4 turnovers. I mean, this Georgia defense can make huge plays that upset the other team. So, I mean, the key matchups here are really going to be Carson Beck versus DJ Lagway. One is steady and seasoned. He leads this high-powered Georgia offense, whereas Lagway, he's this true freshman under immense pressure, but he is very capable of surprises. Also, Georgia's ground game, they've been formidable, but Florida's defense has tightened up recently. So, will they be able to control them? Florida's rushing hope is they're going to need every single yard they can get against a defense that has eaten up SEC offenses. So Georgia right now, they are still in the running for that SEC championship title game. They were going to break their 4-game streak barrier and keep their top ranking aspirations alive. They need to win this game. And I think they absolutely can. However, for Florida, if they can win this, I mean, maybe you revive some faith in Coach Napier. I don't know if that would make a big difference in his outcome later this year. But you know what? If you beat Georgia, maybe you'll keep your job. But I don't think he will. I do think the Georgia Bulldogs will come out big here. They've really found their groove later in the season, which honestly is the most important time to find your stride as we go into those championship games, as we go into the playoffs. They were definitely going to be a top team contending for the national championship game.
I think so too. So this next one I'm really excited for. We have Texas A&M at South Carolina. After week 1, it really looked like both of these teams were in for very difficult seasons, but obviously both have turned things around. A&M doing, all the things right now, and South Carolina kind of getting their stride and being close, to upsetting, LSU, Alabama. They're hungry. They're going to want to beat a ranked opponent. And, I'm really excited for this game. I know that the Aggies are favored, but I've also been to a game at Williams-Brice at nighttime, and I know how difficult it is to play there. So I am really thinking that South Carolina will come on top of this one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I am. I think their defense is too good. Probably the best that A&M has faced this far, you could say. So I think it'll be close, but I think they're so close to just getting over that hump. And they do want one of those big ranked wins. They were so close with LSU at home and on the road to Alabama. They are due for a big win.
I love the way South Carolina's program is shaping out for the future. They're definitely not there this year, but I see bright things for them in the years to come. However, with A&M, Mike Elko's first year is shaping up to be strong. He has turned the Aggies into a balanced top 10 contender, which I don't think anybody was really expecting that turnaround in year 1, but they really have it. And they also have had 3 QB changes this season. They keep the opponents and themselves on their toes every single week with who's playing and who's playing which quarter, who's playing which half. You never know. It's whoever's doing
that. Yeah, he was actually asked about that. I watched his presser today, and Coach Elko did talk about, obviously, the possibility of playing 2 quarterbacks, and that definitely is probably a possibility for this weekend. And I think if he had one in mind that he was going to start, probably wouldn't tell anybody in the press conference yet. But he did say that, this is going to be a day-to-day thing this week, and they're going to be monitoring, who will start and who will get that playing time this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he needs to tell anybody. I think it makes it harder for defenses to really predict who they're playing against, and then they have to split time and prep for both. So, I mean, he should just keep it to himself. It's a smart strategy. And then you look at Shane Beamer. He's really working on finding consistency with the South Carolina team to make them a real contender in the SEC moving forward. They've been very flashy at times, but they really struggle to hold momentum. And the defense is strong enough to hold an early lead, but the offense hasn't been able to keep up, meaning the defense has just been getting tired throughout the game. Now, with the quarterbacks, Marcel Reed, that's kind of who I would start after what he's shown. But we also have Connor Weigman, who is great as well. So Reed is a dangerous dual threat option, while Weigman brings consistency. He just really struggled against LSU. Now South Carolina's QB, the redshirt freshman Sellers, you and I both love him.
Yeah.
He has shown flashes of brilliance, but he really loves to turn the ball over. So he needs to limit that. And when South Carolina's Rocket Sanders is on, the offense just hums. But when he's not, it's just an uphill battle for them. So Texas A&M's defense, they are physical. They're ready to tackle. So let's hope Rocket Sanders says today is the day, and he's going to go for it. But unlike you, I am going to pick Texas A&M. I think they have too much riding on this game right now because they could go to that SEC championship. They are in that the high tier of that playoff contention to go there. I don't think they want to mess it up for South Carolina. I think if they're going to drop a game, I think it's going to be that one against Texas. I know they won't want to drop that one, but I think that would be the team they do it to. I just think everything for them right now is coming together. It's beautiful to watch. So I am picking Texas A&M.
Both of these teams are definitely going to have their hands full with both of these very upfront physical defenses. So I'm excited to see what happens. But Williams-Brice is going to be rocking. I know it is. It's a great atmosphere, especially at nighttime. Home field advantage. You never know going into these types of games.
The SEC is very unpredictable this year all around. So we can say one team or another, and then we come here on Sunday to tape and we're like, well, I didn't think that was going to happen. It's happened many
Wilder
times.
and Wilder.
But the last game I want to talk about is that Tennessee and Kentucky game. This is going to be a home game for Tennessee. They are back in their dark mode uniforms. I really love their dark uniforms, with the stripes of their orange in it. It might be my favorite one. I don't like the full orange, but I like the black with the streaks. Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, it is cool. My sister is actually going to be at that game this weekend, so that will be a really cool experience for her. But I think for this game, I don't think Kentucky will have much on offense to get going in this game, and I definitely think Tennessee will take this one.
I do too. I mean, we look at Dylan Sampson, who leads the SEC in rushing touchdowns for Tennessee. We look at James Pierce Jr. He is NFL bound defensive lineman. He averages the team's best sacks per game. Joshua Josephs, he's known for causing turnovers. I mean, this Tennessee team is stacked. And then you do have Nico Iamaleava, and while he's not always consistent because he is a true rookie, he has moments of absolute brilliance. And I think, especially like winning the Bama game, I think that brings confidence to your team, the resilience, the grit that you had to have to win in that situation. I think it really builds a momentum for a team, and they are as well in contention to go to the playoffs. I think in contention to go to the SEC championship as well. I think they're like bottom of the totem pole there, but they could technically do it with craziness. So they have so much to fight for here as well. All of these teams that we've talked about today, at least one of them playing has something to fight for in regards of the playoffs or the SEC championship. So in this game, like you, I am picking Tennessee to win as well. I know Kentucky their defense has been very strong for them, but that team is just so inconsistent. So I know their defensive coordinator, Brad White, has stressed a clean slate for his defensive unit, really wanting them to get back to what they were. I don't think it's going to be enough this week, but hey, crazier things have happened.
I think so too. I just think they're not quite there this year, and maybe it'll be next year, maybe not, but right now they're just not there.
Well, thank you so much. I hope you guys all have a great week of watching college football. I know we will. So like, comment, subscribe. Who do you think is going to win in these games? And we will see you next Monday when we break them all down. Bye.
Bye.